Namaskar. Welcome to this edition of News Bulletin. In the headlines today, SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant creates new production records in October 2020. Strive for highest ethical standards by focusing on preventive vigilance, says CEO RSP in concluding function of Vigilance Awareness Week. And quiz competition organized at SAIL RSP to mark Vigilance Awareness Week 2020. Now the news in detail. Rourkela Steel Plant, a unit of the Maharatna company SAIL, has set several new production records in various key areas in the month of October 2020. The steel plant made 3,86,630 tons of hot metal, 3,54,010 tons of crude steel and 3,20,005 tons of saleable steel during the month, which are the highest ever figure for any month. The previous records on all these three vital fronts were made in January 2019. In sinter production too, RSP crossed a new milestone by clocking 6,22,199 tons, which is the highest since inception figure for any month and much ahead of the previous record of 5,96,379 tons achieved in January 2019. Several key units recorded more than 100% of their APP targets. They are coke ovens, all the three sintering plants, blast furnace 5, both the steel melting shops, new plate mill, ERW pipe plant and SW pipe plant. A major highlight of the month of October was the record-breaking spree of the blast furnaces. During the month, single-day hot metal production records were created 4 times. On 15th October, the plant produced 13,316 tons of hot metal, thereby setting a new record. However, the record did not last long and was shattered on 16th October with 13,590 tons to be followed by 13,605 tons on 23rd October and finally 14,014 tons on 31st October. On 28th October, a record feat of total crude steel production for a single day of 13,336 tons was achieved. On the same day, SMS2 clocked 76 blows and made 11,871 tons of crude steel, and that again fresh benchmarks. Similarly, the captive power plant 3 that surpassed its previous best on 26 October and set a new record by generating 46.70 megawatts of electrical power went ahead and smashed it the very next day by generating 47.73 megawatts of power. Mr. Deepak Chattorath, CEO RSP, visited Blast Furnace 5 SMS2 RNC Laboratory Department on 2nd November to congratulate the departments as well as associated units. He was accompanied by Mr. P.K. Dash, ED Works, Mr. Rajveer Singh, ED P&D, Mr. Pankaj Kumar, ED Projects, Mr. C.R. Mohapatra, CGM in charge MM and Marketing, Mr. Praveen Nigam, CGM F&A and other senior officers of RSP. The programs were organized in strict adherence to the COVID guidelines. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. Chattorath congratulated the collective and praised the teamwork and the coordination between different departments. He also emphasized on reducing the cost of production to achieve better margin in the market. The CEO presented bouquets and sweets to all the HODs in appreciation of the good job. Other senior officers also congratulated the collective and urged it to continue the good work. Strive for highest ethical standards by focusing on preventive vigilance management system, said Mr. Deepak Chattorath, CEO RSP, while addressing the senior official of SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant in the concluding function of Vigilance Awareness Week 2020 held on virtual platform on 2nd November. The function was attended by Mr. P.K. Dash, ED Works, Mr. Pankaj Kumar, ED Projects, Mr. C.R. Mohapatra, CGM in charge MM and Marketing, Mr. Praveen Nigam, CGM F&A, several CGMs and HODs across the plant. Stating that preventive vigilance is an effective management system which is beyond policing, the CEO said that it calls for high technological discipline in all the areas encompassing productivity, quality, safety, maintenance, cost control, wastage reduction, environment management, etc. Citing examples of ERP and other such systems implemented in the plan to bring about transparency, the CEO said that ethical practices help in building mutual respect with the stakeholders and reinforcing the values of integrity and transparency. Referring to this year's theme of Satark Bharat, Samridh Bharat, the CEO said that corruption not only hurts the development of the country but also creates a discord in the social balance. Being part of the government machinery, we need to work with other agencies in synergy and contribute in the holistic effort for our nation to fight corruption. Speaking on the occasion, Mr. P.K. Dash appreciated the well-structured program organized by Vigilance Department and efforts being made to sustain fair and just working system in the organization. He stressed upon the need of prioritization, organizational goals and transparent decision-making. Mr. Pankaj Kumar complimented Vigilance Department for their efforts and emphasized upon the need of apt decision-making, time-bound execution of jobs and bringing in further transparency in the organizational systems. The closing ceremony commenced with the screening of 2 short films. The first one was a film by CVC, namely Boya Ped Babul Ka Aam Kahan Se Hoye. The second one was a documentary based on the action taken by different organizations under central government with regard to transparency and accountability in the system. During the function, the names of the winners of different competition organized earlier for employees were announced. At the outset, Mr. A.C. Rathi, CGM Vigilance and ACVU welcomed the gathering. Mr. V.K. Yadav, GM Vigilance proposed a formal vote of thanks. The program was coordinated by Mr. Sanjay Kumar, DGM Vigilance and Mr. J.P. Shukla, AGM Vigilance in collaboration with Mr. K.K. Jaiswal, AGM HRD. Ms. Ankita Bilung, Manager, CP2, anchored the program. As a part of celebration of Vigilance Awareness Week 2020, Vigilance Department of SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant organized a quiz competition for executives on 31st October at HRD Center. Mr. V.K. Yadav, GM Vigilance, presided over the prize distribution function and handed over the awards to the winners and runners-up of the competition. Present on the occasion were other senior officers of the plant. The function was held in accordance with COVID-19 guidelines. ED Works team comprising Mr. S.S. Panda, GM SMS2 and Mr. S. Mishra, Senior Manager, Refractories, emerged as winners of the competition. Team EDP&A comprising personal executives Ms. Sangeeta Sindoor, Manager and Mr. Sanjeev Behra, Deputy Manager were adjudged as the runner-up of the event. In all, 6 teams consisting 2 members each and representing functional areas of ED Works, EDP&A, EDMM, ED Projects, CGM, F&A and Director MNHS participated in the program. The quiz was based on the general vigilance awareness. Mr. Ravi Banjari, DGM MM Projects, was the quiz master of the event. The event was coordinated by Vigilance Department team. That's all for today's news. Namaskar.